Alright, hey guys, how are we going today? As I've mentioned in some of the previous videos, that we are going to stream this basically nearly every day. This is more to be treated as a walkthrough, more than anything. It's still a early access game, so just trying to help people get a little bit of a feel for the game. So you don't get stuck in a few areas like we have done so far, which you'd be able to see in the first episodes, either session 1 or session 2, maybe a little bit in session 3 as well. So we hit a few little snares last time, towards the tail end of our session, mainly to do with some of our fishing outfits and stuff like that, so we'll see how we go with some of that today. So we'll get into it. Sort of aim to try and keep these sessions to, probably about an hour, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, depending on viewership. Some of the earlier sessions were really popular on our on the Twitch channels. Seem to have quieted down a little bit, but I'm just going to keep uploading these anyway, just in case anyone does want to go ahead and watch them. It does take a little bit to load. It's quite a CPU intensive game, which I have mentioned in the past before. Seem to get quite a significant frame drop and increase in CPU usage when we play this game. So this is basically where we finished up last time. I remember just going around and having a bit of a look at some of the other people's setups going on around here. So there's pretty good setups. This guy's obviously done a pretty good job. It's a little bit of a sneak peek inside his property, just to see what it looks like. So once again, we are hungry, basically, as of always. Constantly having to keep on top of your food intake in this game. And as always, there's plenty of wildlife roaming around here too, so just going to go ahead and head back to our camp. Keep powering on with our stuff. Pardon me. Oh, big day at work. That's actually quite cool. So that's very interesting. So what he's done here is he's actually he's shoveled all of that. He's built that up with basically just a shovel and a lot of spare time. Yeah, it's interesting. We could maybe look at doing something like that for our section of property as well. This is all limestone. Okay, so here's our property coming into view here now. Obviously it's only small. We've only sort of just started the game not too long ago. But what I'm going to go ahead and do just for the minute is I'm just going to jump into Google and find out our requirements for fishing. Okay, so EcoWiki is telling us that basically um, we don't need to use any bait. So we just need to find a fishing spot, which we will do. To hold down the left mouse button for 5 to 10 seconds and then let go. So we're actually just going to go ahead and wait for a little bit and just see what actually comes of it, because I'm not quite sure on how this fishing actually works at the moment. So I mean, I would have imagined that just because. Okay, so there's actually a fish right there, so I'm actually going to try and land it right in front of this fish and see what comes of it, because I do actually remember seeing fish and stuff in the stream in the past. So you can actually see that fish right there in front of us. So we're just going to try and plonk it. No, that's probably not quite enough in front of him. Okay, we'll see if that's close enough to him. Doesn't look like it is at this stage. Because he is really interested. I have to say the fishing mechanics are not very good. It's quite hard to get a cast sort of dialed in. Yeah. It's kind of annoying. We're just going to leave it there for a second and see what happens. He obviously doesn't look like he's budging. Very uninterested. So might just try one more time. Because that is pretty well just right above him. So, okay, so he is actually moving. But he's moving away from us, so that's not very helpful. We'll try one more cast. Just going to try and land it straight in front of him. There's actually, okay, so there's actually another one over there. We're going to go for this guy over here. Alright, well that's not very helpful because we actually casted it on the land, but that's alright. Hopefully we can... Okay, so the line's going taut there. Alright. Just going to land that right in front of that fella. We'll see how we go. So apparently there's only three types of fish in this game so far. There's tuna, salmon and trout, led to believe. So we got this guy just off to our left. He looks like a trout. I'm not sure what this guy is in front of us, but yeah, he looks like a trout as well. So, I mean, I don't know, like I would have assumed that it would have been a little bit easier to fish, but yeah, they really don't seem interested in it at all. I do kind of feel like there is supposed to be some sort of bait that you'd use. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Because they just seem really uninterested. They don't even move at all. We just tried this guy one last time and then we might just have a little bit of a Google and see what Google tells us. That was not a very good cast. Okay, so that's basically right above him. In regards to a cast, that's really just about the best that we can do. And if he's not going to go for that, then I don't really know what to do. We will Google it and see what Google says. But I mean, yeah, they do really just seem very, very uninterested. Alright, so we're just going to have a bit of a Google. Okay, so basically the Steam community says that patience is key, and you don't use bait. You just need to go back into the map and find basically a hot fishing spot. So that is what we'll do. But just before we do that, I'm going to take a quick toilet break. Sorry about that. Oh, we've actually entered third person. I have absolutely no idea how we've done that. Okay. Controls. Oh, pardon me. Third person GF5. Okay. Alright, so... No, I didn't want to do that. So we're going to world layers, we want our animals. I'm just going to go cod population. So we are right on the edge of a high population area, I guess you could say. I think we sort of might just have to have a little bit of a stroll up and down the stream and just see what we can find. Salmon population. Same thing again. There's plenty of salmon and stuff near us, so... We are just going to have to do our best. So there's a big blue shark right there, if you can see it off to the right in the water. So I'm not sure what the chances would be like if you actually fell in here. I'd imagine that they're there to rip you to pieces anyway. So that's nearly straight on his nose, so I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes and just see what happens. So he's just basically, yeah, disappeared. Now I'd assume you'd have to see the fish to be able to fish for it. So that's actually interesting. I don't know if you've noticed that change of texture in the water. You know, that's basically the same sort of thing that happens when the wind picks up, so pretty interesting. You know, we can't see that blue shark anymore. We saw that trout or salmon or whatever it was run away prior to that change in wind, so interesting. Alright, so I'm gonna head and just pull that in because I don't think we're gonna get anything there. Oh no. So if we head further up this stream, it should take us to the ocean. So waterfall there. seems to be quite difficult to even spot them, let alone actually catch them. Oh wow, that's cool, look at that. Wow. Okay, so there is a fish out there, so we're just going to go ahead and cast it out there. Sort of just see how we go. We're just going to leave it there for a couple of minutes. No, you can't see it at the moment, but I did see it swimming just off the edge there, so we'll leave it there, we'll see what happens. Haven't had much luck to date, so and that is a wolf. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Now, to me so far it does really very much seem like a bit of a waiting game when it comes to fishing. Hunting's a little bit different, it's sort of like take your pick, you know, we've got stuff everywhere around us, so. Now, unfortunately, this could be a very boring session because of the way that the eating and everything goes in this game. You do really need to try and eat balanced. So I'm gonna have to try and get some sort of protein of some sort. Somehow. We're just gonna have to keep searching for the time being and sort of see what we can find. I was just kind of a little bit curious to see whether that water would come flooding in, but it actually doesn't. It's kind of a bit weird. Anywho. There's a big crab over here. Now with this stage, taking a walk to the capital city looks like a viable idea. Because we're kind of struggling here. What's this guy built over here? This looks pretty cool. This looks very cool, actually. I'd absolutely love to be able to have a look inside of that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just going to keep walking towards our capital. We're going to see what the capital is looking like at the moment. This fishing venture is turning out to be a little bit frustrating at the moment. Feel like it should be just a bit easier than what it is. Well, okay. I mean, it's good. Whilst I haven't gone through and actually done this, you know, it's good to see the lengths that someone else has gone to. Wow, okay. So there is some pretty serious real estate going on around here. First time coming across some different trees here as well, which is pretty cool. We're only 350 from the capital, so we're going to make it all the way to the capital. We'll go have a look. Shouldn't take us too long to get there. So. It is actually quite sketchy because we really can't see sort of what's going on around here. You probably notice at the moment the game is taxing a little bit because of the forestry and stuff. As I said, it's quite a CPU intensive game. The wow, okay. The GPU is doing next to nothing, but my CPU is taxing quite hard, so this is really, really cool. Real big change of scenery here, this is awesome. It's quite sort of magical looking, I guess you'd say. This guy's got a relatively serious setup as well, but he hasn't spent a lot of time so much, you know, building his house and whatnot, but he's spent a lot of time with the layout of his land, which I can appreciate as well. You know, it all takes time. I mean, you know, the thing is, we could keep living on tomatoes, but I think we just need to get some sort of protein of some sort. So this is capital here. We're at the capital now, which is a rather big building. Pretty cool. All right, so we actually have roads. This is pretty cool. Yeah, we got a bank there as well. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Now I didn't think that all come up as an individual's property, so to speak. So you can actually buy more land claim papers and whatnot as well. So we got a town hall as well. This is interesting. Wow, there you go. So I'm actually going to try and change my screen so everyone can see this, because this is pretty interesting. See how we can do this. So it doesn't actually look like it's going to let us capture, which is unfortunate because this is actually quite interesting. So basically what I can see on my screen is I've clicked on the vote segment, which you can see on my screen now. It actually takes you to a Microsoft Edge page, and you can literally vote for the exact same stuff you vote for in real life. You know, so you got presidential elections, you know, environmental protection acts is literally like real life. It's actually pretty cool. So it just sort of just goes to show what this game is like kind of aiming for. You know, it's very very much like living a life outside of your life. You know. Um, So yeah, it's very cool. Very interesting. So we're just going to stay away from that for the time being. We're just going to keep, pardon me, just keep plowing through the game. Another major building over here. Not quite sure what this is supposed to be. No signage. Oh, pardon me. No signage or anything on the front. So, got a little stone bridge here. So yeah, man, it's very interesting. You know, we've got like a real we do have a proper sort of setup over here. This is literally the capital city of the land that we're on at the moment. So very interesting. So what we're going to do now, I guess while we're here, we'll have a little look just at the streams to see. Okay, so there is actually a fish right there. Just going to recast that because I'm not sure that's going to do as much good. I think maybe what we might do is when we get back to our lands, we might actually store the fishing rod and look at building a fish trap. At least that way a fish trap's less intensive because you can just leave it there and sort of hope that something snags itself in there. Because this way takes up a lot of time, and you know we sort of could be doing other stuff in the meantime as well. So we'll just give this a couple of minutes, 1 minute. See how it goes. If the fish isn't interested, we'll just move on. We'll make our way back to our camp. I still kind of keep feeling though that there's got to be some sort of trick to it. Yeah. So yeah, it does look like fish is very uninterested. So as opposed to just sitting here, we're going to move on. So we're going to make our way back to our camp, which is 900 meters away. You can see it on the map. I do really think we have to try and suss this fishing stuff out, or like I said, I think when we go back we might look at actually fabricating one of these fishing traps. So this is really cool. Very sort of Minecraft-esque, I guess you could say. There's an alligator up there. I would actually love to go into some of the more advanced lobbies and see what they have going on in there, but I think just for the sake of doing these tutorials and whatnot, it's probably just best to stick to some of the simpler lobbies. Just keep working our way back to our campsite. We will check on other people's sites and whatnot as we go. That is a really big tree. I wonder if you can chop that down. It looks like you can, yeah. Environmental Protection Act. So there you go. That's literally what I was just talking about a few minutes ago. Like there was actually certain things that you could vote on, and that is obviously one of them. So we've got beans and stuff out here as well, something we haven't come across. Huckleberries, another one we haven't come across yet. So looks like as the land progresses, there's different things and whatnot you can come across. So it's good there's no fall damage in this game as well. Ah, we have snow. First time I've seen snow so far in this game. That is a spider. Yucky, yucky. Ew. The goat there. Couple of goats. We've got another different type of tree here. Birch. This is a land claim stake just down here, so I'm assuming so this is quite a fancy looking house that he's got going on here. It's even got an open alcove, look at that. That is an alligator. Not friendly. Alright, so have a look at this. Alright. So, fish trap. What do we need? So, hewn logs and plant fibers. So, the hewn logs we're just going to have to make a few more, which is easy enough. Plant fibers may be a little bit more tricky. I haven't had much luck finding plant fibers. Get rid of all those sticks. I think probably those beets as well for the time being. And apparently we've already made one. So that's very contradicting. So, placed on solid ground, wooden fish traps must be placed underwater in fresh water to function. So, we have to place it on solid ground, but we also have to put it underwater. Don't understand. And it's not even letting me pick it back up. Aha, okay. Alright, so it looks like you just have to kind of hop in the water to get it done. So that is literally right next to where we're staying, so that's good. Now, because I've actually gone through and seen some of these fancier houses, so this is our tool bench, which they're phased about. Just going to go through and make some more in logs. So we can actually go through, we'll just make 30 for the time being. Commit all of our labour. So labour's committed. Alright. Now... that's not what we want. F menu, walls. Okay. Pick up. Pick up. Okay, for some reason it's letting me place blocks now. I do find this game is very hit and miss. Oh. Well, it looked like our game crashed. Well, unfortunately, I mean, on that note, I guess I'm going to leave for tonight because we're close to our hour mark anyway. Very uninteresting session, unfortunately. Trying to get this fishing down pat, it's not really doing, what we wanted to do, so we'll keep going with it tomorrow. We'll stream it tomorrow, hopefully morning, South Australian time, US, maybe 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Or potentially, depending on which way it ends up happening, potentially earlier in the evening. So we'll stream it again tomorrow. Hopefully we get a little bit further. Yeah, if you do happen to watch this, I hope you at least enjoy it. This is a little bit more of a boring session, but thank you anyway for watching, as per usual.